preparing the foundation for our meeting today. The recommendations and proposals that have resulted from their efforts will enable us to achieve concrete and practical outcomes from our discussion. Your Excellency, Mr. President, what we have accomplished together today is a clear demonstration of the potential when two sister countries acting as friends and partners combine their efforts and their resources to pursue shared objectives of socio-economic development and prosperity, ultimately benefiting both sets of citizens. Our discussions were highly productive, characterized by a friendly yet candid exchange conducted in an atmosphere of mutual trust, openness, and respect. I am pleased to note that this aligns perfectly with the long-standing and excellent bilateral relations that exist between our sister countries. I am incredibly satisfied with the results of our meeting so far. However, I'd like to urge that we broaden our MOUs and MOAs to be informed by our aspirations and visions. In Botswana, we've committed to a knowledge-based economy. This being the case, we would like to urge that attributes of a knowledge economy and an informed economy be built into all our MOUs and MOAs, such as research and development, either reported as esoteric projects or better still, as joint collaborative initiatives. Another would be to identify which country and institution has the comparative advantage to undertake either the research or development of services or products in this space. Your Excellency, the comprehensive results of our meeting not only reflect the progress achieved, but also highlight the work that lies ahead as we prepare for our second session of the BNC, a National Commission. It is evident that certain areas have fallen behind, as indicated by numerous pending agreements in various committees. Therefore, I urge our ministers and senior officials to expedite the completion of all outstanding agreements and MOUs to expand and enhance the scope of our current bilateral cooperation agenda. Once these agreements and MOUs are signed, they should be translated into concrete programs and projects that can directly benefit the ordinary citizens of our two countries. Nevertheless, I'm highly encouraged by the ongoing implementation of previously signed bilateral cooperation agreements from the inaugural session. These agreements cover diverse areas such as one-stop border posts, agriculture, trade and investment, as well as youth and sport development. I'm eagerly anticipating our upcoming BNC to receive an update on the continued progress in implementing all outstanding matters. Additionally, I'm excited to once again experience the warm Namibian hospitality when you host our next BNC. Your Excellency, Mr. President, in conclusion, I'd like to reaffirm my full commitment, as well as that of my government, to collaborate closely with you and your government. Together we aim to enhance our long-standing bonds of friendship and productive cooperation for the mutual benefit of our two countries and their citizens. I'd like to express my gratitude once again, Mr. President, for your very kind and generous invitation, the very warm and sometimes chilly hospitality in Walvis Bay particularly that you extended to me and my delegation. We feel honored to have had the opportunity to visit your beautiful city, Swakopmund. Our stay was truly comfortable, enjoyable, and revealing, where you had 5 seasons in one day. I thank you.
Your Excellency President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, President of the Republic of Botswana, Your Honor Slamba Zogwane, Vice President of the Republic of Botswana, Your Excellency in absentia, Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, our hard-working and diligent ministers and our officials, our high commissioners, Now, our new members who come in and go out, members of the media, we acknowledge you and we want you to, we are happy that you are witnessing this closing session of our deliberation official talks. It is with a sense of deep satisfaction and optimism that I address our closing session of the official talks with Your Excellency and your esteemed, strong, big, and powerful delegation. I am confident that our discussion here today have further strengthened the ties between Namibia and Botswana. I am pleased that our talks have underscored the enduring friendship and shared aspiration that bind our two nations. We have reviewed the progress made since our last meeting and discussed a cooperation discussed a cooperation in wide range of topics, including economic cooperation, regional security, environmental conservation, and cultural exchange. These discussions have been both insightful and progressive, providing a solid foundation for future collaborations. I am particularly pleased with the timelines of activities we have committed ourselves to for the implementation of outstanding matters from the inaugural session of the Botswana-Namibia Binational Commission. These initiatives will not only enhance the economic prosperity of our two countries, but also contribute to the overall development of our region. Your Excellency, your visit has provided an opportunity to deepen our mutual understanding and to explore new avenues for collaboration. We value your commitment to strengthening our bilateral relations and look forward to building on the progress we have so far achieved. As you prepare to return to Botswana, please know that Namibia remains a steadfast friend and partner, and indeed, your home away from home, whether or no weather. We look forward to continue our dialogue and working together to achieve our common goals. You have honored Swakopmund. You have honored the Erongo region. You have honored Namibia by coming to spend time with us, discuss matters of importance to the lives of our peoples. No, I don't think anyone can come around and say, this has happened before. This was not a conference invited. It's only two countries, one president who is taking the lead, and that president who is taking the lead is Dr. Masisi of the Republic of Botswana. Please. Let me conclude. Once again, express my sincere appreciation to Your Excellency and your delegation for your visit. May the friendship between Namibia and Botswana continue to grow, bring peace, prosperity, and mutual understanding to all our people. And I thank you.
Your Excellencies, we are now in the final section of our official talks, which is the press conference. I would like to invite the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation to read the joint communique, after which the press may ask a few questions, and then we close the proceedings.
Thank you very much. The joint communique on the occasion of the official visit to the Republic of Namibia by His Excellency Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, President of the Republic of Botswana, reads as follows. The invitation of His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, His Excellency Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, President of the Republic of Botswana, undertook an official visit to the Republic of Namibia from the 3rd to the 4th of July 2024. The purpose of the visit was to further enhance and solidify bilateral relations and economic cooperation between the two countries, as well as exchange views on a multitude of regional, continental, and global issues of mutual interest and concern for the two countries. President Dr. Mbumba was accompanied by the Honorable John Mutorwa, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works and Transport, yours truly as Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Honorable Franz Kapofi, Minister of Defense and Veterans Affairs, Honorable Lucia Ipumbu, Minister of Industrialization and Trade, Honorable Toma Lwendo, Minister of Mines and Energy, Honorable Kalesh Letfein as Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Honorable Dr. Ita Kanjimurangi, Minister of Higher Education, Training and Innovation, Honorable Christine Kwebes, Minister in the Presidency, Honorable Festus Mbandeka, Attorney General, Honorable Modestus Hamse, Deputy Minister of Information, Communication and Technology, and senior government officials of the Republic of Namibia. President Dr. Masisi was accompanied by His Honor, Mr. Slamba Sokwane, Vice President of the Republic of Botswana, Honorable Dr. Lemohang Kwape, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Kagiso Musi, Minister of Defense and Security, Honorable Peggy Serame, Minister of Finance, Honorable Eric Molale, Minister of Transport and Public Works, Honorable Fidelis Molao, Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Anna Mokedi, Minister of Labor and Home Affairs, Honorable Dr. Douglas Echolatebe, Minister of Education and Skills Development, Honorable Lefoko Mahi, Minister of Minerals and Energy, and Honorable Mosek Fela, Minister of Trade and Industry, Honorable Tlahano Sehoho, Minister of Communication, Knowledge and Technology, and senior government officials. The two heads of state officially opened the 9th Swakopmund International Trade Expo, held in Veneta Sports Stadium in Swakopmund, and where President Masisi served as the guest of honor and keynote speaker for the event. In his keynote address, President Masisi highlighted the importance of trade, especially among African states, as an important tool for the economic development and emancipation of Africa. He encouraged the participants to make use of enabling policy framework created by the SADC Protocol on Free Trade and the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement to unlock economic and trade potential of the African continent to improve the livelihoods of their citizens. Following the official opening of the SWITEX, the two heads of state toured the Namibia Ports Authority and the Botswana Dry Port Facility in Morphis Bay to assess the ongoing operations and activities at the facility. President Masisi expressed satisfaction with the operations at the dry port and reiterated Botswana's sincere gratitude to Namibia for having linked Botswana to the Atlantic Ocean via its dry port facility at the port of Morphis Bay. President Mbumba, on his part, reaffirmed Namibia's commitment to ensure that the operations at the Botswana dry port facility in Morphis Bay continue to run smoothly. During the official talks, the two heads of state received preliminary feedback on the implementation of decisions from the inaugural session of the Botswana-Namibia Binational Commission held in Gaborone, Botswana. While noting the progress made, Their Excellencies directed that the following items be executed ahead of the second session of the Namibia-Botswana BNC scheduled to take place later this year in Windhoek, Namibia. The follow-up joint visit by the foreign ministers to Zambezi region, Namibia and Chobe district scheduled to take place on the 24th, 25th July 2024. Midterm review of Botswana-Namibia BNC in Gaborone, Botswana proposed to take place from the 30th to the 31st of July 2024. Senior officials meeting of the Botswana-Namibia BNC proposed to take place in Windhoek, Namibia, 28th to 29th of August 2024. Ministerial session of the Botswana-Namibia BNC proposed to take place in Windhoek on the 30th of August 2024. And the two heads of state resolved that the second session of BNC will take place on the 31st of August 2024. The two heads of state resolved that the inauguration and commissioning of the one-stop border post at the Trans-Kalahari Mamono border post in the Maheke region would take place at a time to be mutually agreed upon. On economic cooperation, the two heads of state, while noting with satisfaction the level of trade between the two countries, acknowledged that more needs to be done to increase the volume of trade by, amongst others, enhancing cross-border and regional value chains to minimize the export of raw materials and minerals from the two countries. The heads of state noted progress in implementing the collaborative framework between Botswana and Namibia to reduce roaming charges. The heads of state further noted that the framework is critical in supporting the establishment of a single digital market as outlined in the cost-based roaming initiative adopted by the SADC ministers responsible for information, communication and technology in June 2023. Accordingly, the heads of state urged mobile network operators in both countries to implement the decision to reduce roaming charges without further delays. The two heads of state also exchanged views on the prevailing international peace and security situation, including the evolution in the security and humanitarian situations in Mozambique and Democratic Republic of Congo. President Bumba and President Masisi reiterated their continued support towards the full implementation of the decisions emanating from the August 2002 Southern Africa Development Community Summit held in Kinshasa, DRC. The two heads of state expressed grave concern about the prevailing drought within the SADC region, induced by the adverse El Nino weather conditions, resulting in negative living conditions for an estimated 58 million people within the SADC region. The two heads of state reaffirmed their commitment to address the negative effects of drought in accordance with the communique of the extraordinary virtual summit of SADC heads of state and government on El Nino-induced droughts and floods dated the 20th of May 2024. The two heads of state noted that both countries are scheduled to hold national elections during the third quarter of 2024 and further wished each other well for the preparations of their respective general elections. Thus done today in Swakopmund. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of International Relations and Cooperation. Members of the media, you are now invited to please come to the front so that you may pose any questions or seek any clarifications that you may have.
Can I go? Good afternoon, Your Excellencies. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I am Peter Denk from the Namibian Broadcasting Corporation. Next week, teams from Botswana and Namibia are going to be in the border area, several military cooperation campaigns in those, I think 23 villages in Namibia, I think something like 17 in Botswana. From President Masisi and President Bumba, could we have a comment on those exercises? What does it mean bringing the people together and increasing cooperation between the two countries, as well as making sure that issues around the border areas are addressed properly. Issues like cross-border crimes and things like that. With regard to the increased cooperation, it was agreed during official talks, if I'm correct, that new timelines have been developed for the implementation of projects agreed at the inaugural BNC. Could we get a little bit more detail in terms of what are those timelines and what are the projects these timelines have been agreed on? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Your Excellencies. My name is Moshe Galeraho from Botswana. I have two questions. The one is in relation to the agricultural sector, and the one is with regard to the energy and environmental conservation. I wanted to understand that since the AU has established five agro regions in Africa, with Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa mandated to deal with the livestock sector as a way of unearthing the value chain of the agricultural sector. So I wanted to understand as to how far the three countries were working towards achieving the assignment. The other one will be in relation to the production of solar energy. I understand that the two countries are located in a region where there is an abundance of sunlight, and therefore I just wanted to understand how the two countries were focused on establishing maybe a joint solar project, or individually establishing solar project in a way of encouraging the use of green technology. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers. My name is Leandria. I represent Namibia Media Holdings. I just have one question. Many moons ago, there were talks of a water pipeline, specifically linking a desalination plant here in the Irongo region with Botswana. I just wanted to know what is the status of that idea as the matter stands, or has it perhaps been taken off the table? Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Evelyn de Klerk. I'm from the New Era newspaper. My question basically alludes to the fact that the president of Botswana yesterday said that they are joining Angola for the oil refinery. I just wanted to find out from the Namibian side, perhaps are we also on? Thank you.
Your Excellencies, those were the only questions that we had for the members of the media. I will now respectfully hand over to you so that you may answer the questions and respond.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Civil-military cooperation. Indeed, the exercises are going to be held. What does it mean? It means we are normal. We are normal as countries that live side by side, that wish to ensure that our militaries, along with our citizens, get along on both sides. In getting along, we are assaulting any potential for not getting along. So we're building peace in ensuring that we understand each other. And you might be curious as to the motive of it. I think we are all familiar with the recent past history, where there had been conflicts that involved civil-military relations. We want never to get back there. We want to make sure that we never experience those sad moments ever again. And one of the ways to do it is to make sure that those in the military and our ordinary citizens on both sides understand what it means to live next to each other as two countries. And so that is the real motive behind it. I want to rather, before I ask my brother to wade in on some of the others, for the other questions that were asked, I have my ministers here who reported on those, the timeline issues, agriculture, water, pipeline, and of course the refinery will be taken by others. Your Excellency.
Let me just echo what President Masisi has already said. There are two ways when you have your forces next to one another at the borders. If there are conflicts, then you know you are in trouble. If you have peace, then you know that this is affirmation of the stability of your regions and between your two countries. We are emphasizing here that we have peace. We are emphasizing that we need stability. We want everybody to understand these defensive forces are not for us to fight one another, but to protect our interests, economic interests, peace, good neighborliness, our agricultural production on this side or that side, on water, on our environment, and our wildlife. So this is an insurance policy for us all. We thank the two ministers of defense for having started this type of practices so that a person, when you see a Namibian wearing a Namibian soldier wearing a Namibian uniform, or a Botswana soldier wearing a Botswana uniform, there is no running, there is no fear, there is no animosity to run to the chief to go and report, I saw this, I saw that. We said that we know they are here, all of them, on both sides, are for the protection of our countries. The rest, I think the expert must now come in as President Masisi has proposed.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. The first question that concerned Africa or agriculture was the livestock sector coordinating project from the AU. As a start, I want to make clear that this dedication of South Africa, Botswana, and Namibia to work together in cooperation does not limit us to also cooperate in crop production. I believe it is important that we have realized, all three countries, that food security and food self-sufficiencies are now our priority. And it is not only a sectoral approach that makes a certain life sector, subsector in agriculture a priority. All food production is a priority. Now, on the livestock sector, the cooperation was indeed grown and improved. All three countries make use of the vaccination produced in Botswana to vaccinate cattle against foot and mouth. This meeting has agreed that the research and cooperation must be broadened, not only in utilizing our capacities for vaccination production, but include research into animal diseases, research into different vaccine production processes. In fact, broaden also into production methods in agriculture, both crop and livestock, and both cattle and small stock. So we are very much adhering to the task that we were given by the AU. In fact, we believe that we are probably ahead of the curve of many, and that our cooperation is progressing better than in many other parts of Africa. Livestock of Namibia and Botswana, we are the only two countries that managed to have access into the best paying markets. That's the EU, Norway, for our cattle market, and that is a result of our coordinated approaches between Botswana and Namibia to fight foot and mouth. We managed it very well. Just as an example that this cooperation is working. If I may, Honourable President, on the desalination question, yes, we have agreed previously that a principal agreement to cooperate and provide desalinated water to both countries is on the cards. We have phased this project in 3 phases. One phase first to look at our own west coast, that's the SS1. Cabinet has approved, and that project, the feasibility study has been done, funding has been secured, and hopefully we will start implementing in December. SS2 is the program where we want to supply desalinated water to our central areas. We are still in the process of evaluating whether a provision of desalinated water is cost effective in comparison to linking all our dams and providing water from other sources. That is still outstanding. On the SS3, we have, and that's the last phase, but it can also be a standalone program. We have created a joint committee that is looking into the legal aspects, the jurisdiction aspects of how that infrastructure actually is going to be maintained, built, and then where the branches are and what the destinations are. So with that committee is to report back at the next meeting to us so that we can then move into the next step, that is a concrete feasibility study, solve and implement that program. Your Excellency, that is what I can report.
The energy people, I mean, there was a lot of energy and environment and solar power and so on.
Yes, Your Excellency, let me take the one on the collaboration, potential collaboration between Namibia and Angola regarding the energy specifically. I think the question was around solar. You may recall that 2 years or so, we did start a project which we call Mega Solar, which we are discussing between Namibia and Botswana. And that will be one of the issues that will then be done under the MOU that we are discussing. It does make sense to say if you were to invest in a bigger solar power plant, as co-investment between the 2 countries, that solar or that energy can then be shared between the 2 countries. And you are likely to then also save on the capital expenditure that you need to develop such a plant if the power is going to be shared between the 2 countries. So that is an ongoing discussion that we have got to investigate how we can co-invest in energy production. I can also maybe just respond, Your Excellencies, on the questions regarding the participation in the Angolan refinery. Just to say, yes, we did receive an invitation from Angola last year, and also to say Cabinet has agreed that we should participate, and right now what we are doing also just to discuss the details of our participation within that. It does make sense to have a much bigger refinery within the region that we can all claim that we have part of that, and hopefully that will also then give some security of supply for the fuel that we all know is sometimes really erratic in terms of how it's supplied. So we are part of that discussion with Angola to agree on the details of our participation. Thank you, Excellencies.
It will be fair for the minister, their counterparts, to also say something on water, on agriculture, on livestock, refinery, and so on.
Thank you, Excellency. It is really just to underscore what my elder brother has succinctly enunciated, that our working together in the vaccines, production and vaccination is going very well through our 2 sister countries especially, and the direction that we should include research and development in the agricultural space is something that we are also endeavoring to undertake as directed, so that we share experiences and develop together to produce, especially our own food as arid countries, as it were. On the issue of the water development, I think the aspect of the drawing of the water from the Chobe has already been reported on. That much work has already been done. Now the modalities are being worked through. You will appreciate that back home the water aspect resides in a different ministry, but we work collaboratively for the development of same. I just thought I should just underscore and what my elder brother has already said in this aspect. Thank you.
I will comment on the solar plant. We've had a memorandum of intent signed from American companies, mega solar project, whereby it was envisaged that because we've got abundant solar radiation as Botswana and Namibia, perhaps we could have a major solar plant for that. But what we've agreed as the two countries is that we have developed our own integrated resources plan for electricity generation. And we believe that we have gone very far in terms of what we want to achieve as the two countries, so that we can develop those and get to energy sufficiency much faster than the intentions of the mega project. Because, like I said, it is only at this stage a memorandum of intent. There's no pre-feasibility or feasibility study done. But on our own countries, we've gone far, and we're already implementing those projects. So we believe that we should go that route for now. And when the Americans are ready, they'll come after us. Thank you very much.
Thank you kindly, Your Excellencies and Honorable Ministers, for those responses. This now brings us to the end of this press conference. Thank you very much. We will now allow for state protocol to please escort their Excellencies, pardon me, for their next engagement. Thank you very much.
That's right. There you have it. That brings to a close this official engagement of the official visit by Botswana President Mokgweetsi Masisi. Of course, high-level delegates from both countries were present here at the local hotel in Swakopmund, unpacking issues of the binational commission that existed between the country. There were four main issues on the agenda item. that agenda has been adopted and will form part of the second binational commission slated from the 24th until the 31st of August 2024. Of course, in between that, you'll have senior officials meeting, you'll have ministers meeting as well to further unpack some of those issues. But just as you heard there from the joint communique read by Dr. Peya Moshelenga, Minister for International Relations and Cooperation, of course, this meeting did agree on a number of issues, namely, of course, the heads of state agreed that while they are happy with the level of cooperation between the two countries at present, there is more to do as far as the economies of both these countries are concerned. The heads of state also noted the progress in implementing the collaborative framework that looks to reduce data or roaming charges between the two nations. Of course, you would know by now that with an ID or an ID document, the identification card, you can move between the countries. But of course, issues of roaming charges is still a concern. That has been noted, and that will likely feature as well come, that is the second binational commission meeting slated for August. Furthermore, the two heads of state exchanged views on the international situation around the globe, especially pertaining to Mozambique and the DRC, and they have reiterated their continued support to addressing these matters, to addressing these conflicts in these parts of the globe, especially looking at Mozambique and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And last but certainly not least, they have expressed grave concern around the drought situation in the region. Of course, this impacts some 58 million people across the SADC region. We know that the El Nino weather phenomena has been devastating across much of SADC, of course, causing food insecurity across much of the region. That's basically some of the outcomes from this engagement, the joint communique there. Of course, also we saw some very pressing questions there from the press, as they, of course, highlighted issues around energy, issues around security and safety along the Namibia-Botswana border. And you also heard there as well from the various ministries from both countries. That essentially brings our broadcast to a close here. Just to perhaps reiterate the meeting, the dates, as far as this second binational commission is concerned. Of course, on the 25th of July, from the 24th to the 25th of July, we'll be having a follow-up joint visit by the foreign ministers to the Zambezi region, that's here in Namibia, as well as the Chobe district in Botswana, whereas from the 30th till the 31st of July, we're looking at the midterm review of the Botswana-Namibia Binational Commission. It will take place in Gaborone, Botswana, and then we'll have the senior officials meeting taking place here in Windhoek between the 28th and 29th of August, and then we'll of course see the ministerial session of the Botswana-Namibia Binational Commission taking place on the 30th of August 2024, and that will be followed by the two heads of state that resolved to host the second session of the Binational Commission. It will take place on the 31st of August 2024 in the Namibian capital, Windhoek. Well, that essentially brings to a close our broadcast here, as we, of course, looked at the official visit by visiting President from Botswana, Mokgweetsi Masisi. He's here in the country to build on the relations. Of course, his second visit for the year, following his initial visit in February, following the passing of President Hage Gottfried Geingob. And of course, he looks to build on those relations. They will now proceed to the Cleanergy site to, of course, look at where developments are as far as that is concerned. The issue of energy, of course, did also come up high on the agenda here in this meeting. How does the Botswana stand to benefit from Namibia's energy developments? Well, those are some of the topical issues that were unpacked here at this important meeting. From myself and Dishisha Mfungu and the entire crew here in Swakopmund, we, of course, come to an end of this broadcast, and we'll continue with our broadcasts that is around the Swakopmund International Trade Expo, as well as the Namibia-Ghana Joint Permanent Commission of Cooperation that are also here in the town of Swakopmund.